Look at that.
Wow.
I nailed it.
Well.
Don't even start. Oh, chug. Coffee mug. Or coffee cup.
Welcome to Stoopid Movies, where we watch them so you don't have to.
That's right. And this week, I was going to say we went off with a bang, but we traveled and ventured to the theater to watch It Chapter 2.
Chapter 2 of what?
Oh, man. Brand new flick, opening weekend, 2019.
Yeah, it just came out a couple days ago for us.
Yep.
You're seeing this in the future, so it's been over a week. I'm sure there's been 1,000 reviews out by now.
Probably, yes. But yeah,
And we are one of them.
We are. 2019 rated R, 2 hours and 49 minutes long for some god-awful reason.
Way too long.
Anyway, this was directed by Annie Muschietti, I think is how you say it.
I think it's Muschietti.
Oh, mushy. Yep. And starring a great cast. We got Jessica Chastain.
Why'd you point at me? I'm not Jessica Chastain.
I don't know.
I look like her?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, she was cute. So,
Yeah. And then we got James McAvoy, Bill Hader, and of course Bill Skarsgård back as Pennywise. So this was a sequel, obviously. What was it about?
Okay, so this picks up 27 years after It Chapter 1.
After what?
Yep. The kids are all our age.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, they're a little older than
I was going
us.
to say a little bit
older
yeah.
than us. But they're basically our age. They're middle-aged. They've forgotten all about Pennywise and the town under attack and all of that. And Pennywise comes back to start terrorizing children again. And so the losers have to get back together to fight him one last time.
Right. So what do we like about this sequel?
I tell you up front, man, I love the cast. Bill Hader fucking needs to be in every horror movie. Always. Anytime there's a comedic part in a horror movie, Bill Hader needs to be in it. He was great.
Yeah, so this, from what I understand, was his first horror movie ever, and man, he killed it. I mean, he was the highlight for sure, I think, for both of us. Skarsgård as Pennywise is great.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see him. He definitely is right up there with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, a different kind of Pennywise. I don't know which one I like better, but I like Pennywise.
Some of the monsters were cool, and the creature effects were cool.
That he portrays into to work on the. Can you scoot over just half an inch? It's bugging the hell out of me. Thank you, because I see that and it's not. Let's cuddle.
I'm gonna do all the rest of the review like this. That is Rob's biggest fear.
Yes, indeed.
That and that the camera's off, which I'm not mentioning. The creature effects were really cool in this movie. Most of them.
Some of them. I would say the creatures themselves, maybe not so much the effects of them. I mean, some of it, like the head that grows, the legs, and the
Stan's
thing.
head?
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was neat. So some of the monster creatures that it was kind of neat.
Although, why was it Stan when he was a kid instead of Stan as an adult?
That I don't get.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't understand. To play with their heads, I
guess. Some of the humor was funny.
Sure. Yeah, Bill Hader. I mean,
Bill Hader was probably the best part of the humor.
Yeah. He had some solid one-liners.
Yeah.
Here, we'll do that one last.
Okay. Version. The version was good. Oh, some of the music was good. Some of the background sound effects that they used weren't as good as the first one, but some of the songs, the actual song choices they used, I thought were really good.
So the movie opens up with the opening. The opening scene is probably one of the best parts of the movie, but they bring back the Adrian Mellon character, and that's how they kind of open it up. And it was a pretty badass opening scene to kind of bring you in.
Yeah. I really like the time transitions.
Yeah.
Where they'll have a scene where it's following, like...
the kid?
Yeah, well, there was one in particular that had Bill and Bev walking along as adults, and then they kind of walk off camera as the camera turns a little bit, and then adult Bill and Bev walk into the scene. And that was really cool.
So yeah, the smooth transitions between flashback and present time was edited really well.
Yeah.
The final battle, Pennywise Spider and all that is considerably better than the 90s version.
Oh yeah.
In looks and execution and all that. So that was cool. All right, so what was disappointing to us about this? What weren't we big fans of? I'm going to come out and say the elephant in everybody's room with this. The runtime. Why on earth is it almost 3 hours long.
Wow.
It's unnecessary.
Didn't need to be.
No, which created some pacing issues.
Huge pacing issues.
I mean, I got bored at times, which is unfortunate. And there's a handful of times in the movie I'm like, God, come on, is this over yet? I'm like, come on. And when a movie does that, that's just, it's not necessary.
There was, especially compared to the first one, too much CGI.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't all good.
No.
Some of it was bad.
We're practical effects guys.
And the first one, there was a lot of CGI too, so I don't want it to sound, you know, but it wasn't noticeable. Until you rewatched the movie a couple of times and you were like, oh, okay, yeah, I see where, you know, they did a little touch up here, they did a little thing here, they did this, they did that. But in this one, it was really, really blatantly obvious.
There wasn't enough Pennywise, not enough Skarsgård. I mean, the movie's almost 3 hours. I would say maybe at most, actual Pennywise on the screen, half hour maybe?
Maybe,
Tops, if that.
This movie just didn't have the same charm.
Right. The first one, I mean, I love the first one, and just something, it was missing something this time around. Yeah. And I know they're adults for a majority of it and all that, but it just wasn't as...
I think that's a big part of it.
Okay, so this is coded as a lot scarier as the first one. I call horse BS. That's a mix of a horse and a bull who combine their crap together.
Bullshit?
Horse bullshit.
Wow.
No. But no, this movie was not scary. It relied way too heavily on the jump scares, and the jump scares were cheap and ineffective to me.
Where'd we go? Like attention, we kind of touched. Not enough gore. There wasn't enough gore.
No,
there wasn't gory.
And they're saying this movie is gorier and darker and more graphic than the first. Horse BS again. Pig BS, snake BS, all that.
Snakes don't.
All kinds of BS. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Across the board, poo everywhere. So they brought back Henry Bowers. Why?
So many of the changes they made revolved around his character from the book.
Yeah.
And they didn't make sense. Look, Stephen King books are hard to make good movies out of.
Except for Silver Bullet, that movie is fantastic.
It's because the majority of his horror takes place in people's heads.
Right.
And that's really hard to show on a screen. His short stories, like Silver Bullet, do really well. Right. Like Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, do really well. But his books just usually don't translate well into movies.
Right.
So you have to make a bunch of changes.
I spilled a little coffee.
You have to make a bunch of changes to his material to make it work for a movie. And I have no problem with that. I really don't. My problem here was that a lot of the changes they made just didn't make sense. No. Why did they do this? Why did they change that? Because it didn't really affect the story overall.
Right. This movie, way too overhyped.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I was excited to see when they...
So were you. You want to see my text messages about how excited he was?
He's full of horse BS. No, but since they announced that they're doing a second one, of course. I mean, we loved the first one. We were excited. But it was far too overhyped. Yeah. They showed way too much in the trailer.
Bing, bang, bang.
You know, yeah, which doesn't really faze me so much. But they did. They showed a lot. It's just, everybody's like, it's so good. You gotta go say, Pennywise is back. There's all this stuff happening. They're adults now. It's gonna be more graphic and more... No! It wasn't. Even my kids weren't fans. They were stoked for this. It was just the movie come back, Adam.
You know, you mentioned that you saw a lot of it in the trailer. No. I would go on and say all of the best, scariest parts you either saw in a trailer or in a teaser already.
Ding, 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 ding.
And once you take all of that out, it's just a bunch of old people talking.
Yeah, essentially, unfortunately. And so we said that some of the humor was funny and everything. There was almost too much humor. I mean, not so bad for me, or I don't know if it bothered you, but I could see people that could be a huge complaint.
I had moments where it was a little much for
me. The thing is, even in the scary moments, they were trying to be funny and lighten up, which for a horror comedy, that's fine, but this is supposed to be a serious movie.
Yeah. So, final thoughts.
I'm going to let you go first this time.
Okay. I'm glad that this wasn't my pick.
Yeah.
I was pushing for the Banana Splits movie. I was disappointed. I was let down.
But you're glad we went. Oh, come on. It was fun.
It was fun going to the movies because it's always fun to go to a movie.
That's what I mean.
I could have watched this at home.
Well, yeah.
And saved $7.50. It was okay. I almost fell asleep partway into it, which is never good for a horror movie. especially in a theater, especially a Stephen King horror movie. Too many changes from the book that didn't make sense. And again, I don't mind you making changes from the books because Stephen King books are notoriously bad movies. Make changes, that's fine, but do them for the right reason. Don't do it just because it's different from the book. Leave out the child orgy scene. That made sense. Leaving that out. I get why you did that. Making Richie gay, I don't get why you did that. Makes no sense to me.
Spoiler.
So, oh yeah, sorry, spoiler. But beep beep.
Beep, beep. Yeah, where's beep beep,
Beep,
Richie?
beep, Richie.
Damn it.
So I guess my final thought, I'm just going to say it's a 3 out of 8.
I really wanted to go in loving this movie. I was really hoping it was going to be one of my top of the year. I tried to temper my expectations because of, so I went in thinking, oh, it is what it is, here we go. And whatever. I did not. I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot worse for me. It's very average, very middle of the road. It was underwhelming and disappointing as a whole. The CGI was terrible. It was way too damn long.
Just like our review.
Yeah, I know. We got a lot to say about this movie. I don't know. So ultimately, I'm disappointed in it. I will watch it again at some point. But as it stands, it's flat out in the middle of the road. I'm just going to go 4 out of 8.
I hope it does good. I don't want this movie to fail. I hope it does really well because that's always good for the horror industry. When you have a movie like this that does really well, like Halloween did.
Right.
Like It Chapter 1 did.
Yep.
Those movies help everybody in the industry.
Yes. If you want more of us, you know where to find us at facebook.com/StoopidMovies and Instagram at StoopidMovies. At Dr. Sketch Turner at The Horror Punk. You can email us at StoopidMovies@outlook.com. Yeah, go there, spread the word, tell people about it, support any horror, support horror, and point at me.
Send Rob pictures of your clown penis. He's starting a collection.
Beep, beep. Serious question. So you think when they went back to dairy, did they buy some dairy?
That was your serious question?
That was my serious. I'm curious.